Welcome. My name is Nancy, and I am the exercise physiologist in the Zakim Center for Integrative Therapies and Healthy Living. Today we're going to be doing a quick upper body circuit together. So we're going to be doing 3 exercises standing and then 2 exercises on the floor. So I'm going to do a really quick warm up. These are videos when time is short or don't have a ton of energy to do a real full long workout. So we'll just do this really brief warm up. You can certainly feel free to do a longer warm up if needed, but if you have been sitting for a little bit, it is always good to just get the body prepped a little bit, particularly if you are cold, house is cold, or you've been a little bit chilly. So we'll just do some marching. You could turn this into a jog. You could turn this into high knees. If you're looking for a little bit more, we'll eventually march a little bit wider. And then we're gonna bend one knee and then the other. So we'll get a little gentle stretch through the fronts of the thighs, a little work, hamstrings in the back. Get to sense how our knee joint is feeling today. We'll do 3 more with each leg, 2 more, 1 more. Now we're gonna do a tap and a reach. And you're gonna notice I'm gonna start moving my arms in lots of directions. So we wanna be reaching down, we wanna reach across, we wanna reach overhead. And then you can just kind of cycle through those moves, or if there's some that feel a little sticky, then you could hang out there a little longer. We'll do 3 more each way, 2 more, 1 more. March again. Okay, excellent. So, first exercise, we are going to work our chest muscles, but we're also going to get a lot of shoulder work here. So I'm going to encourage you to grab, if you're going to grab weights, you're going to grab weights that are on the medium, potentially more on the light medium side of it because of the shoulder piece. So it's often challenging working our chest muscles in the home environment in a standing position. But here is our opportunity. So feet are going to be hip distance apart. Arms, palms are going to face forward. I've got a slight bend in my elbows. I'm going to come up and together. I'm going to press the ends of the weights into one another, and then I'm slowly lowering my arms back down. So as you see me from the side, I bring those arms up, still got a bend in the elbow. They're not locked and hyperextended. I'm squeezing the weights together, and then back down. So the purpose of the squeeze is to help you feel your chest muscles in the center part of your chest muscles, where they meet right here in your sternum. Where you're likely feeling this is at the other end of the muscle, where it inserts by our shoulders. So by getting that squeeze and that slow lowering, hopefully that will help you focus on feeling those chest muscles. Your shoulders are still working. They're probably, again, the thing that's going to limit you here, and that's fine. We'll do 1 more of these. Exhale up, squeeze again, slowly down. Okay, so that worked, again, shoulders and chest. So exercise number 2, we're going to work the triceps, but we're also going to get a little bit of shoulder again. Now, this exercise can be done standing or sitting, so I'll show you both variations. I'll start standing and turn to the side. Feet are hip distance apart. I hinge forward from my hips. I keep my back flat. My arms are going to start, my fists outside my hip bones. I'm going to extend my arms back and then bend back to my hip bones. So I'm gazing down at the floor, but several feet out in front of me. So I'm not looking down at my feet, and I'm not looking up at the ceiling. I'm keeping a nice neutral neck. Now again, you could sit in a chair and mimic this exact same exercise. As long as, likely a chair without arms will help you get that range of motion. But you'll notice how I'm really keeping my arms up high. As your arms get tired, they want to sink down here. It's easier down here, I'm not gonna lie. But we want to keep them up, so then we also get a little bit of upper back working. We'll do one more, all the way back, squeeze the tricep, and forward. Okay, so again, hopefully you felt back of the upper arm, the tricep, possibly the shoulder, but also possibly the upper back, because you kept your elbows and upper arms up high. Okay, third exercise in the upper body portion is going to work your shoulders again. So this time I'm gonna grab something a little bit lighter. We've done a lot of things that have indirectly kind of been working our shoulders. So feet are hip distance apart. Now the palms face the body, and we're gonna come straight forward. So this looks very similar to the first exercise we did. But the palms are facing in a different direction, and now we're isolating the fronts of the shoulders. So I'm keeping a slight bend in my knees, and as you see me from the side, I'm also not moving the rest of my body. So as I lift, I don't shift forward and back. I keep that slight bend in the elbow, and I'm going about shoulder height. If there's pain to get to shoulder height, then go ahead and find a range of motion just below that point of pain. We never want to push through pain here. And then I'll just show one other option. If these feel easy, you could hold one and lift and lower the other. So that will get one arm kind of isometrically not moving and the other one moving. So that's another option. You, of course, just need to do the other side. So that was 3 upper body exercises. Now you could cycle through those 3 again. Now we're going to transition to the floor. So again, you could do this whole thing straight through, or you could just stay with this standing portion. So I'll go ahead and meet you on the floor. Okay, so our first upper body exercise on the floor is going to be a dumbbell pullover exercise. Get a lot of kind of bang for our buck here. We're gonna work our chest muscles, we're actually gonna work our back muscles. Shoulders are probably still helping, so they're really getting quite the workout today. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay on my back. Some of you may find for this exercise that it's quite helpful to have a little bit of height under your head, maybe a small pillow, maybe a towel or a blanket, particularly if being flat is uncomfortable. Giving yourself a little height can feel good. Now, you're gonna need one weight for this, and I would say one sort of medium, potentially medium heavy if you're feeling up for it. So you're gonna grab the weight and you're gonna be holding on to the ends of the weights. You also wanna make sure, if it's heavy, that you can safely and securely be holding on to the weight. So my knees are bent, my feet are flat, my lower back has maybe a little bit of an arch, my sort of normal arch, but not a ton of space here. So we start straight over our chest, and what we'll do is very slowly travel overhead. You're going to go as far overhead as feels good. This is about it for me, and then I'm going to travel back up. So pain is your first reason to stop. Your second reason to stop the overhead movement is when you start to rely on your rib cage to get your arms overhead. So if you watch this rep, if you watch under my upper back here, I can get my arms to the floor. But guess how I did that? I created all this space under here. And I don't want to be doing that. So for me, right about here is the extent, that might have even been a little bit too far, of my range of motion there, where I'm really pressing my upper back and my that rib cage into the floor. So it will look different, for each of us, but making sure the floor is not necessarily the goal. We talk about direction and destination. So we're moving in the direction of the floor, but it is not necessarily the destination. We'll do one more of these. Inhale overhead. And we'll exhale, bring that weight back up. And then we'll very gently put that weight off to the side. Now we're gonna stay here and do a core exercise. Now we're gonna use a weight again, but I'm going to choose a slightly lighter weight. And in fact, you don't even need to do a weight for this. You could use a yoga block. We just want something that you can be squeezing into. So I'm gonna come back into that same position that I started with before. And I'm just gonna hold my arms here. I'm gonna bring my left leg into tabletop. So I'm gonna flex my left foot. I'm gonna have my ankle in line with my knee over my hip. From here, I'm gonna keep the arms in place. I'm gonna lower the left leg down. And then I'm going to come on back up. So the upper arms are here to try to keep our rib cage down, upper abdomen engaged. So again, you could just be squeezing into a block, but we want to be fairly active with that engagement. So again, the block or the weight. And now here, you'll notice I'm not necessarily getting my heel to the floor. Similar concept. The direction is towards the floor, but the destination is not the floor. Can I get my heel to the floor? Yes. What might happen? I might arch my back to get there, and I don't want you to do that. So you're going as low as you can without arching your back. That was the last one on this side. You can give your arms a little break. They're probably a little bit tired. And we're gonna switch to the other side. So we bring that right leg up, flex that right foot, 90-degree bend at the right knee, arms go back up. We inhale down, and we exhale up. I tend to be a fan of exhaling through pursed lips when we're doing core. That can help bring our kind of rib cage in and down, which having our arms up can be helpful. So not forgetting, if you have the block, you're squeezing into it. Maybe you're using a Pilates ring, you're squeezing into it. You're keeping that foot really flexed. You're keeping that knee bent at 90. And you are not arching the back. One more down. Exhale up. Okay, off to the side, gently and carefully with the weights. Knees can come into your chest. You're gonna roll to your side. Your top hand's going to press you up into seated. And you are done. Thank you for joining me today. See you again soon.